I want to share exactly how I launched a business that did $20,000 in its first 20 days and is on track to do $75,000 before the end of Q1. How I quit my job to build something valuable, which gives me more freedom and a lot more money. Right now, I'm in Madrid, Spain, and I watched Real Madrid play in their home stadium last night. I've been on a road trip through Andalusia with my friends for the last 5 days. I went to Granada, Cordoba. I'm mentioning all these things because all of this is possible because of two main reasons. One, because I work fully remote, and two, because my business runs on my terms. So in this video, I'm breaking down the exact steps I took to launch an info product business that is on track to generate $300,000 this year. So let's dive into it. But before I dive into the steps that I took to launch my own business, let me give you some context first on who I am and what I used to do before doing this. So I'm an operations and systems expert. I've been that behind the scenes guy at multiple agencies, two info products as well, which means companies that sell courses online. And I was the guy responsible for almost all the behind the scenes systems, operations, CRM, outbound, GTM engines. I've built a lot of GTM engines for recruiters specifically for the last 3.5 years. So I used to run systems and operations for different types of agencies and online businesses. And in the last 3.5 years, I focused solely on recruiters, and I was working with a company that used to coach recruitment agencies and recruitment business owners. Now, what triggered me into starting my own business, right? I was doing this for someone else. I really liked the job. I was still solving problems for recruiters. I was kind of creating new solutions. However, what I lacked was freedom. I wasn't in a place where I could just create new solutions, solve new problems for those recruiters, or if I identify something new, come up with a new offering. I could not control the pricing, for example. I couldn't even control if I want to give things for free, if I want to build playbooks or lead magnets that are valuable. So long story short, I was in a job where I was making decent money. However, I did not have the freedom to create value the way I wanted, to price it the way I wanted, and eventually also put out a lot of content that aligns with what I do. So that was one of the main triggers. And then secondly, I want to give a shout out to somebody named Max Pazon. I have been following a lot of his YouTube content, and I actually met his team in person in a coffee shop. It's a random crazy story that I can tell you guys at a different time. But I met his team. I found out that they use Skool. Skool is a platform for building online courses or creating a community to teach anything. It could literally be anything. It's part owned by Alex Amosi and Sam Ovens as well. So this guy, he had won something called Skool Games, I think twice. He had won a Cybertruck. He had met Hormozi. So I kind of asked his team what he does, how they do content. I started following him, checked out his content, and turns out he was just teaching all about how to create value, put it out there. People will see the solutions, and then they would eventually come to you and pay you to solve that problem. So I did exactly that, all because of his free YouTube content and free Skool community. That was one big motivator. So shout out to Max Pazon. And before I dive into the steps, I've given you the context and background now. I want to mention 2 or 3 important things here. First, I had 10,000 LinkedIn followers at the point where I went to kind of let's launch my own business, right? So, and I had to build that over the last 1.5, 2 years, consistently posting content on LinkedIn, using automated LinkedIn connection tools. And out of those 10,000, I think about 6,000 would be my ideal client profile. And I also had done about 5 to 6 months of research. So point number 2, I had a following. I had done my research for the last 6 months before I took this step.
Now, after giving you all the context, this perfectly ties into step 1, which is defining your ideal client profile, which I was just talking about. I was clear on my ideal client profile because I knew every time I jumped on a call with a recruitment business owner, after a few years, I really understood the market well. I understood for what type of recruiter lead gen is a bigger pain point. For what type of recruiter it's more candidate sourcing, who is more driven by automation, who is more driven by the human element, who is, I don't know, super excited about AI and wants to know which is the latest AI agent to use, for example. So I was well versed with all these nuances of the market, and now I had enough documentation, on kind of structuring my business with it. All of this ties perfectly into step 1, which is defining your ICP. ICP being your ideal client profile. Like I told you, mine was recruitment business owners that are either solopreneurs or have a team of maximum 5 to 10 people. Their biggest pain points are that they're looking for better systems, they're looking to enable their business with AI, and they're looking for better talent, and they prefer offshore talent if you show them value and if it's coming at a lesser cost than hiring locally. I understood that really, really well. So what I went in with was, who am I going to work with? Recruitment business owners that own smaller businesses that have these pain points that I just mentioned. And then what problem will I solve for them was to enable them with better systems, better talent, and then a little bit of hand holding over a longer period of time. This was my core value prop and who I wanted to work with. I think every single person aspiring to be a business owner or launching a community or a similar business, just this is probably the most important question that you should ask yourself even before going and building a solution. I see a lot of people build like a product or a SaaS product even, and then they would say, oh yeah, this can work for this industry as well as this industry. But I think it's really important that you really define who are the people you want to serve and how will you serve them, and then everything starts from there. So this is the foundation, and if you want to start your business, define the ICP really well.
Step 2, the undeniable offer. I decided to build my undeniable offer for one niche, which is recruiters. I built a unique 4-pillar framework which covered all aspects of recruiting, from lead gen to sourcing talent to automations to how to be more productive as a CEO, and I called it Recruiter GTM. GTM standing for go to market, because it gives me authority to kind of solve any problem for them. And I have been in the space for about 3.5 years now, and I'm well aware of all the players in the market, what's their pricing structures, and then what do they offer for that price. After taking all of that into account and speaking with about 78 different recruitment business owners, I launched my offer with 3 different price points. Now, let me tell you about these 3 different price points. First one is the standard tier, in which anybody can join my community, get access to the course content, get access to weekly support, but they implement the systems and the learnings themselves, right? There's not hand-holding and done for you type of implementation. We definitely support you and answer any questions that they ask. Now, this option is a no-brainer whenever I suggest it to a recruiter after my first interaction or second interaction, because I can easily bring them into the community and show them kind of what's possible, right? Now, the second tier is called Premium, which is slightly higher price, and in this one, my team does the implementation for the client, for the recruiter. Then we do a handover where we train either them or their team to run the system themselves. And then the final tier is called VIP, where we deploy the system for them, as well as place a full-time resource that will run and then scale that system for them internally. Now, another thing I want to mention here, which I did differently from all my competitors, is I did annual pricing for my community. So anybody that joins in gets access for 12 months, which allows them to have 12 months to kind of explore what I'm teaching, try to implement that, test me on different scenarios or my team, and then also allows me and gives me 12 months to impress the client, to show them what we can do, how we can help them identify different new opportunities within their business. If they're trying to build a new offer, if they're trying to build a new upsell, we can help them with all those things. And my goal with all of this is literally to make best-in-class AI systems accessible for all recruiters at a price that makes sense to them. Step 3, the launch. So how did I go about putting my business out there online and launching it, letting people know that I have this business, come and join it, right? It's as simple as that. I actually did something quite simple, and it was unintentional at the start. I made a LinkedIn post. I put a video of myself and I said, hey guys, I have left my job. I will be launching a business of my own. Anybody who wants to work with me, I think I said I'll be taking on 5 clients who will be exclusive, and I will work with them on priority to build the content for my community. It was something with value that they could use. Within the next 72 hours of me posting that video post, I got about 55 LinkedIn messages from people that I had coached in the past, or recruiters that were in my LinkedIn network and just never interacted with me. But once they saw that, they messaged me and they were like, hey, we would love to support you in your business. We also, some said, we've worked with you in the past. We were, waiting for you to do this. It was really, really encouraging, I must say. I did not think that small business owners support each other to this extent, and it was very motivating for me. So I then went on and made another post probably a week later, and I said, okay, now I've increased the number of clients from 5 to 10, and I will be taking 10 recruitment business owners and working with them to build the content for my community. And I clearly said I'm going to launch a community, and then for the next 3 to 4 weeks I kept on posting content about what will be in my community. Now, how did this funnel work? So 55 people messaged me approximately. I booked a call with every single one of them. I tracked that in my CRM, and I asked very specific questions about their pain points, right? They're all recruiters who are somewhat working, let's say, remotely, or are aware of the recruitment systems kind of industry. So I asked them, hey, have you been in a coaching program before, right? What did you like? What did you dislike? What are your biggest pain points? Do you have issues finding clients, or is it a bigger pain to fill the jobs that you have right now, right? What systems would you prefer? Then what type of support would you prefer? Most of them said that they're not getting enough hand-holding from other programs, right? They don't have an option for like a done-for-you system. They're not getting offshore talent that is good, that is pre-trained. These were all the problems that I had already solved. So one, I validated my idea. And then number two, out of those 55 messages, I had booked probably about 45 recruiters for calls. And then for every single person, I sent them a form which I had created, which said, hey, if you want to be part of the launch cohort for my business called Recruiter GTM, please fill out that form. And then that form had what is the biggest problem right now? What is your, on 1 to 10, how would you kind of rate your lead gen system right now? How many people are in the team? What systems are you using? So I got all the information so that I could make a decision later which 10 I pick. So the funnel goes like 55 people messaged me, 45 approximately I booked on a call, 33 out of those filled the form and gave me all the information and showed intent that they want to be part of my business. From there, it became easier to kind of pick who I want to work with and then launch my community with.
Step 4 is retention. I want to tell you the main reasons I think this is working and I'm able to retain these clients as well as upsell them. So first things first, I'm trying to solve problems with them, for them, instead of just selling them a solution, which is one size fits all, which I see most recruitment systems company doing, right? Now, let me go through some main reasons one by one. So the first thing is that my offer covers all pain points that a recruiter can have, whether that is done for you systems implementation, whether that's hiring an offshore resource, whether that's building a custom system for them, or even ramping up their current internal talent and training them on better systems, right? In short, recruiters can have better systems, less overall cost, and more revenue after working with Recruiter GTM or after being a part of my community. Second reason, I've built this purely from a place of abundance. Every single recruiter that I jump on a call with, I give them a free brainstorm, I give them a system audit and a clear roadmap of these are your problems. Let's say you are dialing 100 people a day right now. You're not running any LinkedIn or email automations. Your CRM is an absolute mess. These are the first 3 things I would do to put you in a place that, let's say, you were able to increase the amount of time that you have on your hand to do more sales, not do more cold calls, and then have more revenue, right? I will give them a plan and I'll say, hey, you can take this and do this on your own if you want. And I try my best to give free playbooks. I have 4 playbooks right now that are on my website as well, teaching recruiters, hey, this is how you can use the system. This is how you can use GPT to post better content online, for example. So I'm trying to do this from a place of abundance and I am seeing the good karma come back. And this also leads into the third reason, which is I am placing offshore talent. So I'm trying to place deserving people with clients that deserve them. I have placed more than 200 resources in the last 25 months from Pakistan, South Africa, a few in the Philippines as well. I train them up and then I place them with recruiters. And before placing, we teach them all the systems that a recruiter runs like in their day-to-day operations. Now, why I'm mentioning this, it's because I went to Pakistan last week. I met a few of these people. A few of these people are my close friends as well. And I do see the good energy that comes out of it that I'm trying to directly or indirectly impact their lives in a positive manner, right? They were stuck in a dead-end corporate job and now they're, let's say, some guys are making 3K, 4K while living in Pakistan, which allows them to have a very good life, a better house, a better car. Same goes for the client. They now have a reliable person that thinks for their business, that thinks with them instead of just being a task taker. And they also thank me. And then they go and refer more people. So it's, again, I'm coming from a place of abundance and it's bringing all this good karma and good energy back into my business. Number 4, I'm trying to provide maximum value for a market disrupting price. Like I said already, I want to make best-in-class GTM engines and AI systems available to all recruiters, and that's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I think this is leading to my success as well. Number 5, I don't hard sell. I don't ever hard sell or ask someone to like pay me in return for a promised outcome that I know may never happen. I always show them what's possible. I give them a clear roadmap. I give them free playbooks about their problems. If somebody says, hey, my LinkedIn content doesn't perform, I'll give them my playbook, a 10-minute video and my system that's getting more likes and comments on my posts. So I do all of that and then eventually they come back a month, 2 months, 3 months later and they would, enroll themselves into my program. So reason number 5, I don't hard sell and that's been working really well. And lastly, reason number 6, and this ties into that talent placement aspect. Every single person that we place, whether that's an operations manager, a GTM engineer, or an offshore junior recruiter, we train them on all the systems and we make sure sometimes even they have a year, 2 years of experience within the same industry where we are placing them. So imagine a GTM engineer that has worked for a recruiter for 1.5 years and now is looking for a better opportunity and has support from us for the next 12 months. So we just don't place people and then buzz off. We are there to hold their hand and ramp them up in the client's team. I feel like that's an important factor with every single person I've placed and where we've gotten a testimonial. The support aspect was really important. So these would be the 5 or 6 top reasons of why I think it's working for me, how I'm able to retain and upsell the clients within my info product business. Step 5, scaling. I want to scale my community to 100 members before the year ends. Right now, I am at 33 members, I suppose. And I also want to place 200 offshore resources this year. Last year, I placed 103. So I want to double up that number. And two very important things that I want to mention here that will help you in scaling if you are watching this to take any inspiration. The first one will be, I recommend launching your business, initially at least, off of the back of your organic presence. If you don't have it, try to build like a couple hundred followers on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you use. But if you launch a business off the back of a strong organic presence and a few partnerships, you can scale easily with paid ads later. It would be way less in cost. You could run retargeting ads, and I could just talk about this because I've done a lot of research over the last 6 months. But first thing is launch off of the organic presence. Don't just rely on paid ads or paid traffic. Number two, another very big catalyst to my recent success has been partnership. I had about 5 or 6 clients over the last year where I completed a service for them. Let's say I placed a person or I set up a system. They were happy. They went on and introduced me to more people, right? Their network, their friends, their colleagues, other business owners is what I mean. They would just say, hey, this person used to be my colleague. They also run a recruitment agency now. Rayhan, can you help them? The first time all of these people did it, I jumped on a call with them and I made sure that I formalized it into like an affiliate partnership where they get, and now I'm doing it more, like I'm formalizing it more with contracts where if they, let's say, send 2 clients a month, I would give them 20% affiliates. If it's more than 2, we could make it a variable structure. So you actually quantify it, you maintain the relationship, and in return, all these partners, you nurture them with latest content, you give them discounts, you give them exclusive access to the stuff that you're publishing, and make sure that that relationship is always top notch. So these are my 2 biggest lessons about why I feel like I can scale fast now, because 1, I launched on the back of my organic presence, and 2, I have, I think, 6 formalized partnerships. I want to turn this into 10 partnerships.
The whole purpose of this video is, 1, obviously to document my journey as a first-time founder with no entrepreneurship experience, but also to inspire a new wave of entrepreneurs that go into building value-based, info-based businesses instead of just service-based businesses. Why? Because I feel like it's way better to teach a man to fish than just selling him fish. It's a really satisfying feeling, I kid you not. And if you have a niche problem that you can solve, the info product space is the best way to do it. Now, thanks for watching the video. And if you are a recruitment business owner who is looking for better systems for go-to-market, for lead gen, for sourcing candidates, or if you want to hire offshore talent, drop a comment or book a call with us, and I would be happy to do a free brainstorm and a systems audit with you. Thank you so much, and see you on the next video.